Hello, my name is Samat Abdurakib, and I'm a volunteer leader with Outdoor Afro. I live here in Maine, which is unceded Wabanaki territory, and I've been a volunteer leader with Outdoor Afro for 3.5 years. I'm very honored to be able to share with you all a poem that I wrote. This poem, called Metamorphosis, We Change, is about the ways that nature has the power to transform us, shifting us out of our routine lives. It's about the ways that nature is a wonderful teacher that can connect us to ourselves and to each other. Thank you for listening. Metamorphosis, we change. Slow motion past what's familiar, towing only what's needed for breathing, for being, for surviving. Awaiting weightlessness and an ease of constriction. Remembering the sun and the moon again. Remembering what came before the glass and the concrete again. Slow motion towards a metamorphosis. Trusting the knowledge of the senses to understand, to learn, to experience. Present for transcendence and a cellular renewal. Reuniting with rhythms again. Reuniting with expanse again. Trudging up and alongside slow erosion. Hands open and ready for receiving, for making a way, for taking hold. Anticipating the fullness of this journey and opening to the change that is possible. The fourth generation of the monarch makes its way out of the city and into different lands. They know how to fully live into the beauty of their metamorphosis. Thank you.
Thank you for that beautiful poem, Samat. I'm Dana King, your host for the 2021 Glamp Outdoor Afro's annual fundraiser and celebration in the virtual format. We're here today in the beautiful hills of the East Bay, located in Huichin, also known as Oakland, on the unceded territories of the Chochenyo people's land, who have continuously lived upon this land since time immemorial. We have a very special program for you today, featuring two longtime members of the Outdoor Afro family, Chaya Harris and Hilary Van Dyke. Dr. Nadine Burke Harris, California's first ever Surgeon General. We also have wildlife ecologist and National Geographic fellow, Dr. Ray Wynn Grant, in conversation with Outdoor Afro's founder and CEO, Rue Mapp, and a very special musical performance of Black Roots music by Fantastic Negrito and Miko Marks. We begin with a blessing from Pastor Betty Clark.
Greetings to all. Let us pray. Gracious God, your amazing love extends through all time and space, to all parts of your creation, which you created and called good. For you created the world and placed it in our care, so that in obedience to you, we might serve all people. Inspire us to use the richness of creation with wisdom and to ensure that these blessings of your creation are shared by all. That trusting in your bounty, all people may be empowered to seek freedom from poverty, famine, and oppression. We remember with shame that we have exercised the high dominion of humans with ruthless cruelty, so that the voice of the earth, which should have gone up to thee in song, has been a groan of travail. May your waters flow peacefully. May the herbs and plants grow peacefully. May all creation dwell together in peace. May Rue and her team of family, friends, colleagues, and donors continue the work to bring together humankind with nature, and to be blessed by your supreme peace. Amen. Ashe. Shalom. And so it is.
Thank you, Pastor Clark. As we continue to experience the profound changes and transformation of these times, many of us have sought refuge in the outdoors, in nature. Just like the beautiful butterfly who finds solace in the forest as a place to rest, nourish, and transform, when we delight in nature, we emerge changed, mentally and physically more at peace and more beautiful than before. Outdoor Afro is dedicated to getting more Black people outdoors and in nature for good health and happiness. Let's see how they do it.
So much of this work is about telling a new narrative through visual representation. I always say new narrative because we've been told all these stories about who we are and what it should look like for us in the outdoors. And Outdoor Afro has absolutely been telling its own story. And that story just continues to evolve over time. In the beginning of Outdoor Afro, it was about visual representation. Then it was about participation. It was about getting as many people outside as possible. But really, we have become an organization of leaders. And leadership is important because leaders are the ones who are at the vanguard of change. And I'm so proud to say that in the beginning, with that intention to help shift the visual representation of who gets outdoors, that has been achieved. It has been a decade or more that Outdoor Afro has been here with that constant drumbeat of telling this new narrative. And if you look out around the landscape, you'll find many more organizations that are speaking to the needs of communities and affinity groups. And we're so proud to see that because the world needs more of more people connecting to nature in ways that make sense to them.
Hi everyone, my name is Chaya Harris and I'm Outdoor Afro's National Program Director. When we think of Metamorphosis, we often imagine a beautiful butterfly like in our Glamp logo. As the Program Director, I get to enjoy all the stages that our team of more than 100 volunteer leaders experience and support them with whatever they need to create transformative experiences for our networks across the country. As we recruit new leaders, we look for all kinds of caterpillars. From people on the ground making their way, having everyday adventures in their local parks or backyard gardens, to those who may be outdoor educators or mountaineers. All of our leaders are incredibly inspiring, and we support our team with ongoing workshops, our annual Outdoor Afro leadership training, we call it the best time of the year, our Making Waves Learn to Swim program, and how we share celebratory stories in the media of Black Americans getting out in nature. This year, thanks to your contributions and our supportive partners, we had several Outdoor Afro leaders getting certified in wilderness first aid and paddling or kayaking certification. One of our leaders, Offit Porter in New York, shared that he gets to tell people that he is a certified kayaking instructor. Leaders also went on a 4-day kayaking expedition together on the Missouri River, paddling more than 100 miles, and they host events in their hometowns. I think back to 5 years ago, starting off as a volunteer leader here in Boston, and now I'm employed with Outdoor Afro to create powerful opportunities like these. Talk about leveling up. You know, when I applied, I saw Black people in nature, and what I got is growth and connection. So I'd like to leave you with an invitation to come outside with us. If you haven't joined us yet, there's something that's just indescribable. You have to experience it. I learned that caterpillars basically turn into a goo in their pupa or their cocoons. Goo, that's a scientific term. Yet butterflies can remember being caterpillars. Metamorphosis can be a complex process, but it's simple to explain. No matter what stage we're in, that outdoor Afro knowledge, love, and joy makes space for our future selves. It's a place where science, art, and community meet, and that's magic. Thank you for all of your support.
When I heard from Outdoor Afro about participating in this virtual Glamp-in, I knew it was meant to be because I literally have a glamping tent set up in my backyard right now. Throughout the pandemic, one of the favorite activities for my family has been camping in the backyard on Friday nights. It's good for our minds and our bodies, and it helps to bring our family close together and relieve stress. And I have to say, I love everything that this organization stands for. Lifting up our communities and our African American leaders and connecting with each other. And it's never been more important. The COVID-19 pandemic has been full of stress and uncertainty. And what the research shows us is that spending time outdoors in nature actually biologically helps to relieve that stress. So this year, as we celebrate the 7th annual outdoor Afro glamping event, I just want to say, to remind everyone that we're not just spending time together and being out in nature, but we're also really doing some healing work to support the well-being of our minds and bodies.
Thank you, Dr. Burke Harris, for your wise and inspiring words. And now I'm pleased to introduce Glamp, Outdoor Afro's fabulous founder and CEO.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Outdoor Afro's 2021 Glamp-in. My name is Glamp, and I am so thankful you joined us tonight. And I must tell you, I'm so lucky to be the founder and CEO of an organization that inspires me every day and nourishes my soul by giving me the opportunity to spend time in nature, celebrate my community, and honor our Black joy. There was a time not too long ago where I felt alone, inching into spaces that I wasn't sure I belonged. But as I started finding other people who looked like me, who shared my love and passion for nature, I began to feel the wind beneath me. Ever since, Outdoor Afro has been a journey of belonging and growth. Like a caterpillar into a butterfly, Outdoor Afro transformed me. It gave me wings. What gives me incredible pride are the ways Outdoor Afro have helped so many people who look like me have the same experience. What does it mean to be free? There's been one constant place that I turn to for freedom, and that's nature. When I was a child, I chased butterflies on our family ranch, swam and fished in the nearby lake, biked through the fields, and stooped low to smell the flowers. But as a busy mom and working adult, those feelings and those places felt harder to access. That was until I sat down and wrote a blog about my longing to reconnect with a part of who I was and what I wanted for others. And that blog blossomed quickly into a national network of people connecting to nature and to one another. Together, over the years, we climbed the highest rugged mountains, finding our own personal summits. Together, we courageously raced down the white waters of American rivers. Together, we found our strength, healing, and sense of belonging through the platform of nature in times of trouble. Like butterflies, our migration to nature grew from state to state and across eventually the entire country. It's no surprise that Harriet Tubman, as she conducted the Underground Railroad, enabled a migration of a different type and trusted Mother Earth to provide signals, pathways, and resources for those journeys. While the message of freedom was slow to reach the 250,000 enslaved people of Galveston, Texas in 1865, nearly 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, it didn't take our folks long to feel free. And in 1866, the very next year, they began to celebrate that freedom the way we've always known how, in the open air, loudly, jubilantly, joyfully. Over 100 years later, my own family celebrated Juneteenth on our ranch in Northern California. We cooked out in the open air and honored those who paved the path to our freedom. I'm sure many of you growing up did that too. Still, despite our collective song, our collective wings flapping, Juneteenth somehow stayed hidden from view from so many in our community. That's why I'm proud to say that this year, Outdoor Afro inspired thousands of individuals to head out into nature, to spend 2.5 hours outdoors to reflect on what freedom meant to them. Employees from over 60 corporations and nonprofits, from Google to Disney to the Hewlett Foundation, joined us in the call. And we had a digital reach of over 1 million. This collective song grew to become a vibrant, echoing chorus. Now, perhaps the White House may have heard us. In any case, I'm just so proud and thankful to consider our Juneteenth recognition as another example of how Outdoor Afro is at the forefront of remembering our history and leading the charge for healing and transformation. Today, we do this work alongside our amazing volunteer Outdoor Afro leaders and participants, all together understanding the possibility of connection to nature that can transform everything around us for good, starting with our own families and neighborhoods, to our towns, cities, and our country, our planet. The earth in all its living species needs all hands on deck. It needs everyone who can advocate for it, as Outdoor Afro did this year, working to expand environmental knowledge and capacity of our networks through our policy leadership cohort. I like to call it our Outdoor Afro civics class. And also, nature needs us to lead by example how to cherish it. So we expanded our reach this year to lead our first ever Black Paddle expedition. 16 Outdoor Afro leaders kayaked more than 100 miles on the Missouri and the Mississippi rivers. They honored York from the Lewis and Clark explorations, strengthened their connection to two of our major waterways, and inspired countless others to get out and responsibly enjoy some of our most cherished places. And just as I am proud that Outdoor Afro sets the pace in transforming our society, I'm grateful for how you have helped us transform and grow from that kitchen table blog in 2009. Thanks to your participation in Outdoor Afro events as the world reopened this last year, and generous support, this has really been an incredible year of growth for Outdoor Afro. We have expanded our participation network to nearly 60,000 people who are inspired to get out in our largest Outdoor Afro leadership team class of over 100 leaders representing 56 cities. We have helped more youth and their caregivers learn to swim, doing our part to stem the crisis of Black youth drownings in our country. And we've increased our headquarters staff to bring high quality management for all our growth, built a nationwide board of directors, and tripled our partners with so many more new individual friends and donors to be grateful for. We welcome you all into the Outdoor Afro family. In closing, I always say that Outdoor Afro is powered by gratitude. So as I begin, I will end by sharing my gratitude for joining us tonight and being a part of our movement. I cannot wait to see where the wind of healing and connection takes us next.
Aren't you in awe of all this work? I know I am. Thank you, Rue, for your vision and the important and life-changing work of Outdoor Afro. One thing that is always beautiful to see is Black women in conversation about the transformative power of nature. Next up, we have Rue and Dr. Ray Wynn Grant. Let's see what they have to say about being in community with each other in the great outdoors.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be rejoining you for a terrific conversation that I know I'm about to have. My dear friend, Dr. Ray Wynn Grant. She is a large carnivore ecologist and also a Net Geo fellow. And I'm just so excited to talk with you, Ray, about what you've been up to.
Oh, thank you, Rue. It's an honor to be here with you. You know, we are friends in real life, so it's also really fun to share these professional spaces too. So I am headed off to Montana next week.
Oh, I love it.
I am working really hard to better understand corridors, wildlife corridors. So big animals like grizzly bears that I study in Montana quite literally walk on their four paws a lot of places all the time, except when they're hibernating. And there are places where it's safe for these animals to walk, and places where it's unsafe. And I've done some modeling to suggest what pathways are safest for them, but I need to test it. So I need to see these animals using these pathways. And so I'm going to Montana to collect some of that data. And then simultaneously, I've just launched a podcast. It is with PBS Nature called Going Wild with Ray Wynn Grant. And it's my true stories from the field, from my, 15 plus years of being a carnivore ecologist all over the world.
The thing about Outdoor Afro that's meant so much to me is that in the beginning, it was so much about let's get more people to embrace the outdoors. Let's, get people to just participate in the outdoors, right?
Yeah.
And that quickly pivoted into let's shift the visual representation of who we imagine gets outside. And then it pivoted again to let's also shift and include the representation of who leads outside. And I just love to, talk with you a little bit more about restoring balance, especially as we come out of this time where we have been cocooned, literally, through the pandemic. And we had so many no's and things that were closed. And I knew, thankfully, that nature never closes, right?
Yeah.
So I just would love to hear from you a little bit about representation and it's the sense of emerging and being seen, not only professionally, but really in these, important times we find ourselves in.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this is I wish we could talk for hours because this is such a great topic. And and there's such an importance, like you're saying, about this period in history right now. And yet a lot of what you mentioned brings me back to my experiences when I was just getting started in this career. And what I think is super notable and related to what you're saying is that my first experiences in the outdoors took place in Africa, far from home. And that's a really unique experience. But guess who else was there? Black folks. So the people that I saw as experts in everything related to the environment were folks who looked like me. And at a young age, and I have to say at a time when I had pretty pretty low self-esteem. Unfortunately, I was going through a lot. What I did see was leadership and knowledge and, expertise in, in Black African people. And that was definitely not a message I was getting back home in the United States. I was not getting that heads up that Black Africans could be in charge of natural resource management, anywhere. Under COVID conditions, I think it's been fascinating to see how so many spaces have been unsafe, but nature has been wide open. It's been one of the safest places. And even in my own little community, my own little Black community, I've seen a shift from people saying things to me like, well, isn't what you do really dangerous? And aren't you afraid when you're outside with all these animals? To people, really accepting like, oh yeah, that's a good place for you to be right now. Oh yeah, we should all be, in nature a little bit more. Oh yeah, I guess wild animals aren't eating everybody up.
What is your dream for the Black community as it relates to your work? What can we do for wildlife?
I have this dream, this hope, this prayer of, the outdoors and nature as being an ultimately, consistently accessible space for wellness and for healing and for joy and triumph, right? And the Black experience is almost entirely full of painful memories and history and a lot of society working against our best interests or trying to. And yet Black folks are incredibly resilient, incredibly joyful, innovative, creative, just rich with so much greatness. And there have been very real barriers to us enjoying time in the outdoors. Throughout our history, we have been forced to be outdoors. We have been taken outdoors, but barriers to our choice to be in the outdoors for fun. And so I truly see Outdoor Afro and other Black leaders as really helping to facilitate, Black folks experiencing nature the way they choose to, and in this joyful, fun, healing space and an additional wellness space that, is ideally free. And when I say nature, I mean everything from, the garden or the backyard or the playground to, very wild, remote places and everything in between.
I just want to thank you for showing up in all the parts of who you are. And it's my hope that someone will be inspired to think about their life differently, their life's possibilities differently, that maybe they don't have to go to the motherland to see the possibility and to live the possibility that you are and what our planet needs now more than ever. So thank you so much for being in this conversation with me.
Thank you, Rue. We're in this together, and I would do anything to help. So.
Okay. So my hair grandson, come on, get into the picture. Say hello. Okay. Let's just embrace this, girl.
Let's. Hi, sweet. Yeah. Hi, sweet baby. Hi, sweetie pie. Yeah.
Hi, Miss Ray. We'll see you on the trail sometime.
And this one's only 6 months ahead of my little one, so they're going to be buddies on the trail.
Wow, what an informative and inspiring conversation from Dr. Ray and Rue. Thank you for the work you're doing, making sure that we all can experience majestic creatures and places and our own wilderness within. We hope you're enjoying this program so far. And now we need you to help keep this work alive and thriving. If you are as inspired as I am, please consider making a gift to Outdoor Afro. You can donate now by texting GLAMPIN to 41444. That's GLAMPIN, GLAMPIN. The Outdoor Afro volunteer leaders are busy taking donation calls tonight. Let's check them out, see how they're doing.
Yes, thank you all the Afro fundraisers. Thank you for
Thank you for calling the Outdoor Afro Glamp and Telethon. Yes, the phones are ringing off the hook with donations. Our leaders are here answering all night, but the easiest way for you to donate is by texting GLAMPIN, GLAMPIN, to 41444. We're kicking off the night right with a $30,000 donation from the Wilderness Society. Amazing! Are you ready to give now too?
This is Leandra. Woo! How will $10,000 impact our org? You're asking the right questions. $10,000 will support our annual training for all Outdoor Afro leaders, like myself. Many of us say that Outdoor Afro leadership training is the most wonderful time of year, and we want to thank the Disney Conservation Fund for donating $10,000. People are going above and beyond.
Thank you so much for calling in today. Your $5,000 donation will fund a guided whitewater rafting trip and a camping weekend for, hold on, 55 participants. So thanks so much to the North Face for their $5,000 donation, because you know we never stop exploring.
Your $2,500 donation will equip 5 Outdoor Afro leaders with certification in wilderness first aid training. We're going to wrap those ankles and apply Band-Aids with care and expertise. Thank you, Yakima, for your donation. Don't forget, the easiest way to donate is by texting GLAMPIN to 41444. Thank you.
And $500 will cover 6 weeks of swim lessons for a Black child and their caregiver. We're going to make sure that everyone knows how to wade in the water. Thank you so much, Montana Wildlife Federation. We really appreciate your help.
Ooh, the healing and repair that comes from a day hike with one of our amazing leaders is profound. So for just $250, you can provide that Black joy and healing. It is a human right to experience the healing power of nature. So text GLAMPIN to 41444. That is GLAMPIN to 41444. Hope you have a great evening.
Hey, Brooke Tui, how y'all doing? You know the importance of Black joy? Oh, you know we do. Wow, thank you for your donation. Have you donated yet?
As an Outdoor Afro leader, I can tell you this. Any amount of money you feel comfortable giving goes towards our goals of bringing freedom, liberation, Black joy, and jubilee to Black people across the country. So just give what you can.
Hold on for a moment so I can give thanks. I want to thank you all for your donations and support of Outdoor Afro. Keep it coming. We're on a roll.
Yes, thank you for all the outdoor fundraisers.
Wow, you are feeling so good. Thank you so much for your donation.
Wow, I haven't seen a phone with a cord in a long time. Thank you to all of you who have given. Your support helps make getting outside in nature more accessible to more Black people. Now, let's celebrate with this very special performance of Black Roots music from Oakland's own Grammy Award-winning Fantastic Negrito and Miko Marks.
Wow, it's great to see how many people give to Outdoor Afro. I want to tell you that I'm so happy to be here to support Outdoor Afro. Hey, Rue, did you know that I went to UC Berkeley as well? Well, it was just at a different time than when you did. Check this out. I really love what you are all doing at Outdoor Afro, man. It makes me feel so good. Because in the Bay Area, it is necessary. When we are connected to the earth, like all Black people have been connected before us, it is a transformative experience. And that's what nature and music have the power to do. I want to tell you all about things that are close to my heart and my spirit. Agriculture, farming, the soil, trees, healing, getting out there in the wilderness, get in your backyard and plant something, grow something, give back to the soil, because when we give back to the soil, it gives so much to us. So I want to introduce myself and Miko Marks with our new song, Rolling Through California, all about the beautiful Golden State.
California, I got so much on my mind, on my mind. I be rolling to California, I got so much on my mind. Well, better pack your bags, better get out fast. Running through the California smoking dash. Everything's gone in a wink of an eye. See the bloodshot sun on the northern sky. Listen, can you hear the sound? It's born into the ground. I can hear the sound when I be rolling through California. I got so much on my mind, on my mind. Every time I'm rolling through California, I got so much on property and cars. Been trying to get away, but I didn't get far. Look out now, but air quality is looking bad. Everybody outside is wearing a mask. Look out, y'all. Can you hear the sound? It's pouring into the ground. I can hear the sound when I be rolling through California. I got so much on my mind, on my mind. I be rolling through California. I got so much on my mind. Well, 5 years ago today, it never was this way. We used to laugh and point out Arizona while they played with their guns. We laid out in the sun. Oh, our heavenly, our paradise was. Come on, can you hear the sound? It's pouring into the ground. I can hear the sound when in the West.
Aren't they the best? Thank you, Xavier and Miko. I cannot wait to see you in person. Now, as the show goes on, please continue to text your donations. Each year, Outdoor Afro awards 3 honorees for their dedication and commitment to our work. Tonight's first award goes to Hilary Van Dyke, Leader of the Year.
I love Black people. I love Black people. Black people.
My name is Hilary Van Dyke. I am the volunteer leader for Outdoor Afro St. Pete, Tampa Bay, and Orlando Network. I have been a volunteer leader for, I think this is my 6th year? Yeah, 6 years. And I really like being an Outdoor Afro leader. My favorite part actually is the way that I've gotten to meet so many amazing people all across the country over the last 6 years, all the other volunteer leaders. The first time I was at an Outdoor Afro training for the leadership training, I was just really amazed because I felt like I found my family and found loads of people just like me, a bunch of outdoor nerds. So that was really cool.
I like doing Outdoor Afro with Hilary because she picks great events. Not only does she pick great events, when she picks an event, she brings knowledge and history about the event that we'll be doing. She's well organized, she's fun, she brings great enthusiasm to the group, she's very friendly, and she always provides more than what we deserve when we lead these events.
Really and truly, the coolest thing about my network is the people that show up to the events and trust me to hold space for them. They come every month, got a lot of ride or dies. We always have new people coming to the events. And just how friendly and warm and up for any challenge the group is has always been something that blows me away every time. And as we're doing the closing circle, I always get really emotional because I don't know how, what I did to be so lucky to get to just actively be engaged with this group. My name is Hilary Van Dyke. I am the Outdoor Afro volunteer leader for St. Pete, Tampa Bay, and Orlando, and I have been for the last 6 years. And I am so grateful for this award. I can't begin to explain what Outdoor Afro has done for me, and I think the impact on the community over the last 6 years. For me, I'll say my interest in Black history has grown. That's a part of every single event, is really digging in and learning the history of the area. And it's even influenced what doctoral passion I'm pursuing, which is super exciting. I have so many connections throughout the community that I didn't have before. So just being connected to local, state, national parks, different community organizations, and we have just had so many cool events because of those connections. And also, I've met all these amazing humans, many of whom I get to call my friends, sometimes feels like family, not just locally in my network, but all over the country. And that is because of Outdoor Afro. And I can't even imagine what my life would be like without them. And one of the biggest things for me as far as my growth is I am so outdoorsy now. Like I was before, I always played outside, blah, blah, blah. There's all these ways that being part of the outdoors was a part of my life. But now it's on a whole new level, and I know a lot of that is because of the ways that Outdoor Afro leading has empowered me into these spaces. I'm a guide for She Travels Adventure Company. I am First Aid Wilderness certified now. I learned how to swim, which is really exciting. And I'm currently working on a scuba certification. And actually, the one thing that I think is the craziest is I got into hunting, which apparently is part of my life now. Never really saw that coming. And that's not a thing I do with Outdoor Afro, but because of the way I've been empowered into trying new stuff outside, that's because of Outdoor Afro, which is wild, y'all. Hunting, what? Who does that? Apparently me. Anywho, so I just really can't fully explain what Outdoor Afro has done for me. But 7 years ago, I saw an article in NPR that was interviewing Rue, and I am so glad I saw that article because it has changed my life. And I think the culmination of all that is the Leader of the Year award. I feel like I can do anything, not just as a leader, but in my life. And I really appreciate the award and appreciate everything that this organization has given to me. I just get way more than I feel like I get more out of it than I put into it. And I'm so excited to continue having Outdoor Afro as a part of my life. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
The William and Flora Hewlett Foundation is a nonpartisan private charitable foundation that advances ideas to promote a better world. For more than 50 years, they have supported efforts to advance education for all, preserve the environment, support vibrant performing arts, strengthen Bay Area communities, make the philanthropic sector more effective, and foster gender equity. Hewlett's support of Outdoor Afro has set the standard for what we consider a true partnership. For the past 6 years, they have been consistent and unwavering in their support, no matter what else is happening in the world. Whether they are lifting up our leaders with in-depth profiles or supporting initiatives like our Juneteenth commemoration, they are always prepared to be of service to Outdoor Afro's mission. We are honored to be in a long-term partnership with them. And now, here's the Hewlett Foundation President, Larry Kramer.
My name is Larry Kramer, President of the William and Flora Hewlett Foundation. We've proudly partnered with Outdoor Afro since 2016 because we believe in your mission. And today we are both grateful and humbled to be your Partner of the Year. Outdoor Afro's work to celebrate and inspire Black connections and leadership in nature is changing the face of conservation. You're helping to conserve our lands and rivers while elevating new voices, perspectives, and ideas to strengthen communities. As important, you help all of us to keep in sight the historic connections of Black people to nature, connections that should be respected, honored, and nourished. Outdoor Afro offers an unrivaled combination of entrepreneurship, power sharing, thought leadership, and inclusivity in the environmental movement. You encourage all of us to recognize the power of nature for self-care, healing, transformation, and belonging, benefits that have taken on greater significance during the pandemic, even as disparities in access to nature have been thrown into sharp relief. We especially appreciate how Outdoor Afro moves action. From the nationwide Juneteenth events encouraging people to get outside and reflect on what freedom means to them, to advancing new conservation funding and policy, to helping develop more equitable approaches to connect all people to nature. I speak for all of Hewlett when I say that we have learned a lot from our partnership, starting with Rue and continuing with every Outdoor Afro leader we've met. So thank you, Rue, and thanks to all the Outdoor Afro family. We look forward to continuing to learn alongside you and to supporting your work to protect nature while improving the well-being of our community.
Thank you, Larry, and congratulations. Tonight's final award is for Lifetime Achievement.
For 28 years, Shelton Johnson has been a ranger with the U.S. National Park Service.
The first time I arrived in Yellowstone, I got off the bus, and there's that wonderful stone arch that says, "For the benefit and enjoyment of the people." It doesn't say for the benefit and enjoyment of some of the people or a few of the people. It says all of the people. And for me, that meant democracy. And for me, that meant I was welcome.
From Yellowstone to Yosemite, Shelton has dedicated his career to bringing African Americans to the national parks and reconnecting them to the natural world. A master storyteller, he has helped ensure people know the history of the Buffalo Soldiers, the all-Black Army Regiment, who served as precursors to park rangers at the turn of the 20th century.
I had no idea that African American soldiers had anything to do with the national parks. And then I saw the photograph of the 24th Infantry, taken in 1899, sitting on a table in Yosemite's research library. African Americans, their visitation is less than 1% of the visitation to Yosemite. When I saw that image, I saw the bridge that would tie wilderness to the African American community right there in the faces and in the eyes of those dead soldiers who were looking at me from across a distance of 100 years. And I knew in the instant that I saw that I was looking at the most significant thing that I had to do in my career as a park ranger.
Shelton has been a friend and supporter of Outdoor Afro for more than a decade.
There's nothing more democratic than a national park. You are going into a wonderland. You are going into a different world. And doesn't everyone deserve the right to experience what it must have felt like to be in a place that no one has ever been before? We can all have that experience on any trail in any national park. So why should only part of the population have that sense of wonder and that experience of discovery? That is part of the experience of being an American. It belongs to everyone.
Outdoor Afro is proud to honor Shelton Johnson for his passion and dedication with this Lifetime Achievement Award.
Hello, this is Ranger Shelton Johnson from the Yosemite region, and I just want to say how absolutely thrilled I am to be this year's recipient of the Outdoor Afro Lifetime Achievement Award. And I accept it with joy, I accept it with humility, and I just want to say that it is not recognition just for me, it is recognition for the work that I've done on behalf of these African American soldiers, the Buffalo Soldiers who served in Yosemite and Sequoia National Parks over 100 years ago and essentially served as some of the first park rangers anywhere in the world. This was unfortunately an untold story, an unknown story, an unseen story, and all I've done was just bring that story into the light and put it in an amphitheater so that their voices, which have been silent for over 100 years, could be heard. And I've received acknowledgments for this, received honors for this, but the greatest honor of all is right now, because it's the community itself, my own community, African Americans saying, well done. And that's what these soldiers, I think, rarely heard in their lives, to give your life for your country, to sacrifice yourself so that things would be better for your descendants, for your children. Maybe you wouldn't even have children. That's a very powerful act of courage, of bravery, of defiance. And so I accept this on the behalf of the work that I've been doing, on behalf of the families of those soldiers who are still unrecognized, who still may not know that their ancestors protected Yosemite and Sequoia over 100 years ago. So I'm holding that light. But the light was not lit by myself. It was lit by the dead. It was lit by the hearts and spirits of those who have passed on. This is an acknowledgement for the ancestors. May they move forward and may we follow them in their wake to a better place, to a promised land that we ourselves may have the power to enter for the first time. And that is what you have done for me today. You've said that the work that they did and the work that I've done on their behalf matters in this world. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for this great honor. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Shelton, and congratulations. Well, that concludes our program. Thank you for tuning in and being with us here today. We hope that you enjoyed what you saw, heard, and felt. Be sure to find your own medicine in nature. Take a walk, visit a park, go for a swim, enjoy the fresh air. We appreciate your support and look forward to seeing you on the trail. Have a great evening.